Hi, everybody. Um, I want to introduce myself. My name is Cynthia, and I have decided to start the Guelph Bariatric program. It's the medical program, not the bariatric surgical program, so I'm not having surgery. But I decided a couple years ago that I needed to do something about my weight and my health because 8 years ago I got sick with fibromyalgia and a bunch of other health concerns, and it has caused me to have a very sedentary lifestyle. I gave up. I haven't been eating properly for the last couple of years. When I first got sick, I put on about 75 pounds in the first 3 months of changing medications and trying to find the right thing for me to take to control my pain and depression and anxiety and all the stuff that goes along with fibro. If you're not a if you don't know anything about fibromyalgia, I used to believe that it was a complete BS diagnosis, and over the last 8 years of trying to find stuff out about it and research about it and talk to other people that have it and whatnot, can quite assure you that it is not a BS diagnosis. It has changed my life. I have had to go off work and I've been on disability now for 8 years. Um, I have, I've, my who I am has changed completely. Um, I really went through a really tough period of trying to get to the self acceptance level and understand that this is my new normal. But one of the things that's bothered me the most, obviously, is about my health. And it's not just about the weight gain. It's been about the fact that I can't do the things that I used to be able to do. One of them is doing the career that I absolutely loved, which was being a hairstylist. And I was a damn good hairstylist. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I had a really good following and I had some amazing guests, and they were like family to me. And I really miss having that interaction with them. But I also miss the interaction with my family and my kids, especially, and doing things with them and enjoying my life and getting out and doing the things that I want to do. So I've suffered a lot of issues in the last few years. I've gone through, the loss of my mom and loss of my mother-in-law and my mentor, my aunt, as well as other. I'd lost my dad a few years back and my grandparents, and like the typical thing that a lot of us go through, especially at our age. But I've also gone through other stuff financially and with my husband, and we've just reconciled 6 months ago after a 6-year hiatus. So I'm really happy about that. I've done a lot of counseling and it has helped huge. I would recommend the CPT program through Waypoint Hospital in Penetanguishene, Ontario, 1,000 times over. I had an amazing counselor who's really helped me with a lot of the processing issues that I was having with a lot of the things that happened to me in my past. And part of that journey to getting better is also looking after my physical health. My mental health has definitely been my number one, but now my physical health has to come into it. So, excuse me. So 2 years ago, anyways, going back to my story, 2 years ago in November, I was referred to the Guelph Bariatric Clinic through the Guelph Hospital, and they approved me right away for surgery. And I have a lot of friends that have had the surgery, and I know, whatever works for you. If that's the thing that works for you, that's great. If that's your journey, then that's your journey. You do you. I just decided it wasn't for me. I've looked at a lot of the pros and the cons, and I've already had 11 or 12 surgeries in my life. It was just something I wasn't willing to go through again, at least at this point. I'm really hopeful that this program works for me and that I don't have to go a surgical route. So here's, fingers crossed. If you haven't heard about this, the program is a 6-month program, and you do meal replacement for 3 straight months. You're on 4 Optifast shakes a day. You are allowed 1 cup of broth and celery, and that's about it. Diet pop, coffee, obviously a ton of water, and the idea is that after the 3-month time being on just the shakes, you've had a really good breakup with food, and then they can reintroduce food gradually, and you can see how your triggers are and whatnot. And in the meantime, you work on the mental game of, dealing with your cravings and why, and if they're emotional eating, if you are, which I think a lot of us that are overweight are dealing with emotional eating as well. Mine is also prescription related. Getting sick 8 years ago and going on different medication, one after the other, after the other, after the other. Every time I tried a new medication, I gained weight. At that point in time, the highest weight I'd ever been at was 230 pounds, and I had worked really hard on my 40th birthday. I started a program, and I had dropped 60 pounds, and I'd managed to keep it off for about 3 years when I got sick, maybe 3.5 years when I got sick, and I had stayed within about a 3-pound radius. When I got sick, I just gained the weight left, right, and center. Like first week, I'd put on 8 pounds. Second week, I'd put on another 12, and they just kept trying medication after medication, and the weight just kept coming on me. And after about 4 months, I'd put on about 75 pounds. Now I was sitting at about 102 pounds heavier than that initial weight. So I was 170 when I got diagnosed, and when I weighed myself a couple weeks ago, I was 175.8. Or not 175, that would be okay. 275.8. It's a common thing I do, so please excuse me if I keep doing that. It's just I don't put 2 in front of it very often. I don't know if that's a mental thing. I'll have to look into that. But right now, I'm going to say it's just because I'm fibro brain. So I got the call, anyways, 2 years on a waiting list. I got the call about mid-October, and they told me that I was being put on the wait list for the wait list to start the fall program. Excuse me. Remainder of a COVID chest thing. So yeah, lovely. Anyway, I was really excited. The nurses called me and the coordinators called me from the Guelph Bariatric Hospital and told me that I had a really good chance of being on the fall program and would I be interested. And if I was, I had to hurry up and get all my shit together really quick and get my blood work done and have my ECG and have my doctor's appointment and do my counseling, see the Dr. Dinescu through the Guelph Bariatric Hospital, and do all of those intake things and sign all my paperwork and whatnot, because I would be possibly starting like a week later, 2 weeks later. So I got it all done. I ran like crazy to get it all done. I've been really looking forward to this and hoping this is going to be, the start of my new life and a journey that I can stick to and work through. I'm really looking forward to the support from the program administrators and coordinators, my fellow weight loss journey. It's not weight loss, but anyways, yeah, I'll get into that more later. But anyway, so 2 weeks ago, I got the call. I got to join the fall session. So I was like totally pumped. I weighed myself then. I said I was 275.8. I started on the Optifast 2 days ago. So I guess 3 days ago now, November 17th. And when I weighed myself that day, I was 265.9. So I'd lost almost 10 pounds in 2 weeks. And I was still eating. I was actually, eating all those favorite things that I had that I really wanted before I knew I wasn't going to be able to eat them for the next 3 months. They tell you not to have a last meal mentality, but I didn't want to go into this knowing that I had the stuff in my house, which I probably should have just given to my kids or my husband or thrown out. B, I didn't want to feel like I was missing out on having those favorite things. It was kind of like my goodbye to food for the next few months. So hopefully I got that out of my system. I feel really good starting it. The shakes have been amazing. I got chocolate and vanilla. Anybody that knows me knows that I am not a chocolate fan when it comes to milkshakes or ice cream or anything like that, chocolate milk. But I thought it might be a good idea to have it just in case I do have a craving for chocolate, because there's not much you can add to vanilla to give it a chocolate flavor that doesn't have calories in it. So I did that, and I'm really glad I did. So first day on the shakes, get up in the morning, have my first shake. It's great. It's vanilla. I just had it plain just to see how it was. A few hours later, we had a fresh bread delivery. And in that fresh bread delivery were these beautiful, lovely looking, smelling, delicious cinnamon buns with icing all over them. And the house was just fragrant with cinnamon. So I was a little bitter, I'll admit. But I went and got my chocolate shake for my next meal. And I added cinnamon to it, and it totally took away the craving for cinnamon. I felt like I had a treat, which was really, really good. And I was really, really happy about that. So if that can work for that situation, then hopefully it can work for all of the situations along. I've bought a bunch of different Mio and Crystal Light and artificial flavorings and stuff like that to add to the shakes. I have experimented with like blue raspberry and lemon and vanilla, obviously the cinnamon, a few other ones already, and I'm really, really enjoying it. I can't say I'm not missing out on that sugar aspect yet. And I'm a huge ice cream fan. Huge ice cream fan. Like Haagen-Dazs strawberry is like you could stick that shit intravenously and I would be a happy girl for the rest of my life. However, I can't have it. I have not found a strawberry yet that will take the place of that flavor for me, but I have ordered some, so hopefully it's going to come in and it'll give me that thing I'm looking for. I haven't craved it yet, which is great. One of the girls in the group that I'm in online actually suggested that when I have a craving, there's a difference between a craving and an obsession. And I have OCD, clinically diagnosed having OCD, so it's not just a joke, which we've joked about my whole life, my friends and I, but actually found out that it's true, so not a really big surprise. But it never occurred to me that OCD would affect how I ate as well. And I know that might sound crazy to some, but obsessing about a food is something that I have done for years. And if I get an idea in my head and I think, oh, I want a hot dog, and I don't have any hot dogs, well, tomorrow I still want that hot dog. And in 10 days from now, I still want that hot dog. And in 20 days from now, if I still haven't had a hot dog, I'm still wanting a hot dog. And in the meantime, I will eat 50 million things to try to get rid of that hot dog craving. So when she suggested that it could be an obsessive trait, it was like a bell went off, lights and bells and whistles and aha, bing. I was like, huh. So now I have to actually look at that with, from a mindset of how to deal with OCD tendencies and how to deal with the food craving part of that. So that's going to be a new journey for me in the mental game that I'm doing. Not game, but the mental progress that I'm going through. So hopefully I can recognize those times and understand the difference between a physical craving, head hunger or heart hunger as they call it, or whether I'm actually obsessing over something and it's just because I've got it in my head and I have to do it. So yeah, so that's where I'm at, kind of thing. Again, not missing eating. I've had 4 shakes a day for the last couple of days, and I'm really looking forward to my next one. I'm hungry right now, and they do fill you up, or at least me. They do satisfy my cravings, and so far so good. Like I know I'm only 3 days in. This is my 3rd day, but I'm really hopeful that February is going to be a breeze. I know I'm going to have ups and downs. I've already been warned I'm probably going to cry and break down and have little times where I'm angry and bitter, especially because I'm going through Christmas and New Year's and my birthday and I shout out to all my WindSisters. I ride a motorcycle and I ride with a phenomenal group of ladies called the WindSisters. It is it's a group. It's not a club. It's a group that's on Facebook. And I've got a lot of WindSisters that live around my area and who are absolutely wonderful, wonderful, wonderful women. And some that don't live around my area that I know as well. And we decided to get together for dinner. And thankfully they joined, and we were able to do a dinner before I started this. So I was able to actually have my Christmas dinner with all my girls before I started this program. So that was really special to me. And it means a lot that they actually, some of them realized what they were doing. Other ones just were joining because, hey, it was steak and it was a reason to get together and have a couple cocktails and sing karaoke and get out and do crazy gift exchange. But for the ones that knew that I had specifically asked them to join because I wanted to be able to have that meal with them and celebrate something and celebrate sisterhood before I started this journey, means a lot to me. So thank you very much to all my ladies. I love you all. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go make my milkshake. I will do updates as often as I can. I'm not really a big video person. This is probably the first time I've ever actually done this. As you can tell by looking at my YouTube account. If you are watching this on Facebook or some other social media platform, my nickname on YouTube is Crazy Biatch. It's Beeyaach. Anybody that knows me knows that that's a pretty fitting name. So I will talk to you later, and hopefully I'll see you at some point through my journey. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or do some research, and then hopefully we'll chat. So yeah, take care. See you guys soon. Bye.